ACSENT, but
they got the better side. I mean, Ascent is so important starting on defense.
Yeah, we'll see how many attack rounds.
here we see it once more.
Like maybe they only need like 4 with what was going on, but I feel like Sentinels will have a lot better time on attack.
Position of the knife was getting antied quite hard by MIBR.
Dude, 4 classics, 4 armors for G2 and second, mate.
Try and push past, but immediately dashes back, but he is
The double down of going forward was sick. It ended up being
just like that. First domino falls, the rest of the top
sick, to be fair.
Yeah, a couple of players over towards Catwalk.
Dude,
really
look at the
wanting to try to
HPs.
Force the fight, hoping that the rest of G2 would still be focused on Zekken.
But that opening, I think, tells me quite a lot when I'm watching this VOD back. And like I said, when G2 were playing against MIBR, the position of the knife and their opening defaults were getting antied hard. They were already making changes and moves and maybe coming to fruition unless John can do something about it here and now. But no.
He was like maybe 1 here and then 3.
Weaving in
Unlucky.
and out, playing off each other beautifully.
And you talk about momentum. This pistol round on the attack side is hyper important on Ascent. On the attack side of Ascent, you might only win 3-4 rounds on the attack side total. Yeah. So being able to pick up a pistol and probably the follow-up is enormous. Just changes the numbers so much.
Major difference indeed. Zelsis looking around here, but almost expected here by Leaf.
Well played. You think about the run that Sentinels went on at the very beginning of Pearl. They were able to string 7 rounds together in a row by chaining these ultimates, by getting themselves into positions and forcing G2 down onto ecos constantly. Really good denial of that mid-fight.
Nice. Yo, we're halfway there.
I mean, that might be a reference to Valen saying that we only need 2 on the attack side.
Yeah, it might be that.
This map is by far and away our most, one-sided map that we have currently. It's
what was the pistols in the map before this? The eco strat 4-3, right?
Even when they're not in a match like this, last time we just saw teams rack up defense round after defense round over and over again.
That's right. Someone can correct me if it's wrong.
Rounds been setting up trap plays. Another one cooked up over towards B.
4-3 for G2.
A bit of a gamble, this one. And looking like it's going the wrong way.
But yeah, it was Sentinels that had the eco strat on Power. You're right.
A flash into B main, just for some information.
Back in a flash.
Doesn't reveal a thing here. Could use some
Yeah, this is what I thought they'd start doing, like actually walking, taking space instead of heavy committing. I know it's just against an eco, but this is already a really good sign from them. Like they don't have to heavy commit, especially with salvos. If you watch how I want to say RRQ, I can't remember who it is, but they're very good at like getting through the chokes by using salvos and then nothing else, just knowing that they can kind of just freely walk through.
Now Sen, honestly, they just, I would say, want to die to the spike, because you do not want to charge up these ultimates. This is the worst map in the entire game if the attacker starts some kind of ult snowball, because you're expected to get so many defense rounds.
It's the play here for Sen. You are right. I mean, the spike might just be the most optimal.
Boom.
And so think about it this one.
Boom was the team I was thinking about, but I think RRQ do it as well. But yeah, Boom is the best example because they had that Phoenix, and they had to get. Wait. Oh no way! Dude, that's messed up, man. Well, Utils is killing this game, but
not really accomplished.
You gotta take that.
3 with the salvos towards the end. I don't really think the Sen ever thought there was a ninja defuse on the cards there.
3 kills, let's go, Nate. Imagine.
Zekken living in a world where that ninja defuse happened would have been an incredible moment. And G2 not super close to the ultimate, so they don't have to worry about that too much right now.
But yeah, it's a little bit spreads, but
really take a look at
I'm already seeing good signs from G2.
Because they're probably going to bring out a set strat, a set tactic, to try to set Jorgamo up for success. And they've threatened a little bit of A main control. They smoke A main. in order to threaten that they could be through wine and getting ready to pop.
But this is what a lot of teams are doing with the
My eyes, again, are on Jorg.
with the wall with
How does he
Vice.
play
Means
this?
that you have to go deep over towards this and break it, and it can be a bit of a nightmare. And then once you kind of break it, you either put it there again or you have some kind of punish.
For info. They just flash close mid.
And you pretty much just rotate between.
There's nobody here.
Because,
Jorg can walk in
yeah,
here
you're pretty
without
committed,
using
and then
tail
until
drop,
this wall goes
without
down,
using
right, you can
smoke.
just heavy stack over towards the sites, and then obviously when the wall goes up, you
Still
get
being saved here by
into
G2.
the more normal 2-on-2.
What a util here by G2. They're just trying to potentially pull players. Util of their own. Over the wall, Jorgamo.
Well,
Dropped. Celsius
it's at a price.
has his eye on that one.
That's the most common position for the Vice wall, so a bit strange that G2 got caught out heavily by it there.
A lot of pressure though still being applied, and that means 3 players of Sentinels are still here. So anchoring onto the side, it's all onto Celsius and Zekken. See if they can stand tall against most of this one. Only the one for Zekken before
If
he
Celsius
does
doesn't
go
get
down.
one, it
Pause
becomes a
for
close
G2.
round.
Don't have a lot of time to work with. They're hoping that Sentinels
Dude,
will overplay themselves.
Jonah P's going for a
potentially
big
into it, but now
play.
they gotta try
Oh
and
my
make a
goodness,
move
okay,
forwards, and
well.
Celsius could be that win condition. Not quite just a one, but yeah, right from the
Yeah,
side.
very
Right.
nice in the end. Very, very
Nicely
nice.
done overall.
Is a double armor.
Well played from those B
And
players,
2-gun rebuy,
Celsius
though.
in particular. But I'm a bit confused by what G2's game plan was there. Don't know whether Jorgamo thought that he would get market.
No, I think he wanted to. I think they wanted to fake this at middle. I'm not entirely sure though.
A setup that's designed around punishing that. Earlier on this stage,
Boys, let's go. Let's go.
Celsius looked a little bit shaky on the Vice. He was putting his walls in some unusual spots, but he's really tightened up his game. He's in a great spot now on this defense side, where it can be a nightmare trying to run B-splits against him.
Okay, wall back over towards middle. So they managed to get the punish on
Another
mid anyway, and
beginning to this.
they're just so fine with it, trying to see if G2 are actually going to default
Not going
twice over
straight
towards
into
middle, and then it
executes.
might be the
Not giving
once they've
easy cues
gone for the
Sentinels
wall
to realize
twice,
where
then you know that
Jorgmo's
they're
gonna be popping
prioritizing
from.
heavy mid default, and
Much
then you
more
can
about
punish it.
working the
Would
map.
most likely be the play if they do go
Starting
mid
by
this round. You'd
threatening
probably
to
see it
maintain
next round.
control, then they've been going back to mid and trying to run B splits or A splits.
Spikes in the middle of nowhere though. Again, the goal is just to slowly work the map here for G2. Drone push back, make sure that Zekken can't get that mid-round information. Nothing stopping him from reclearing.
This is nice though.
Yeah,
Question
that's
mark
what I'm thinking.
created.
Are the reclears
Got
gonna
the
come
smoke
through?
out
Here
of
it is,
them.
pop flash into
Flash
A lane.
over
The back
towards
gets some more
A in
information.
reaction to
We
losing
realise
over
that
towards
G2 are
B
not
to get
over towards A
info.
right now, but this actually gives Valen a good time.
Going
to
over towards
end
middle.
A,
It's going to get
because
spotted by
Sentinels are
Leaf.
start to lean the defense off the site as Bang clears A main.
Slow crawl.
Yeah,
towards
and they still got the wall on
Sentinels.
middle here, so they managed to actually 3-person
Players
stack
here,
over towards A.
ensuring
It's looking kind of nice from Sentinels.
sufficiently defended
They all
there.
goes in,
Really
everyone plays in
arguing
front of it. It's a good omen
forceful
flash here.
bang. Salvos at your
Ah,
feet
dude,
as well.
it is
That's
a great
tricky spot
omen
indeed,
flash.
but
They can't get through the
already
stroke.
Dashed in, disengaging, and out of double faces
Wait.
there from G2. And anticipated with Bang's position. Takes out 2 of them immediately. Sight potentially theirs as well.
Not bad.
The Raid just trying to pick them apart.
Still not bad.
Trades there instantaneously. Trent finds it 2v2 now. Spot the G2 were in as well without too much control of anything else. Uncertainty, that smoke fades as well. Celsius might be caught very unaware. Just on a perch, and he's already isolated just the one. And Valen low enough that it should just be easy
Yeah,
business.
very
Yes,
nice.
indeed.
Ooh, dude. I mean, whoever got the entry here, that actually made
Incredibly
this
important
pretty
round for Ascent
close.
to convert. A 2v2. Those can get really dangerous against G2.
It was a great omen flash,
But
though.
Sen fought them in the choke point. Look how quickly Jorgamo was forced to use his refract. He got in with a double dash and a bunch of util. I mean, G2 used tons of utility to try to set him up, but he was forced to recall immediately.
Look at you go. Look at you go. God.
Yeah, he also dashed
Now
in
G2
when he
Stingers
hit the
and
omen
Garden.
flash, so it's like he didn't get the
Thus
info,
far,
of, so
haven't
they didn't really know
seen
where
that
to
value from
pre-aim.
the waylay that we're looking for. Many more rounds here, though, to study. And Zekken was amazing at the
You
start
have a question?
of the series.
Malabad, what you got? What you got for
And
me?
the action's coming towards him.
Paranoid Knight, Salvos at your feet as well. This is a dangerous spot for Zekken to be placed in. It's already taken damage.
Would any
Lots of it.
bangers end on Icebox?
Very spam.
A solid question.
Phantom in hand, flash as well. Pushes Celsius back into a potential spot as well where he could do that damage. It's exchanged with the fire. Kills are being found. Sentinels getting it still. It's a double face up in the end by G2. Almost wrangling control of the rifle for the 2-piece, but it is all there. controlled.
this is like 2 rounds where they kind of get
G2.
locked into the choke point a little bit. They obviously
options
managed to
here
get
for
through this
Valor.
choke point last round, but
Drone
I
gives
think
up
it should have ended a little bit worse.
position. Still gets to one. Narrates.
I wouldn't
make sure
be
that's all it
against
is.
the timeout here.
And no opportunity for
It's
G2 to get through that
sight
choke.
hit, 3 people.
Completely
Sight hit,
stuffed.
3 people.
Celsius with a gorgeous flash. Salvo's coming in from Narrate
Like
as well.
you gotta
Jorgamo
break that
used
wall, man.
His dash is just to kind of avoid the salvos. He double dashed inside B main.
Yeah.
I didn't buy my second smoke. God damn it, Sean. Why would you do that?
Oh, I didn't catch that, but thankfully it didn't matter at all for them. But maybe that's the reason why.
Does he have to
Sen
call
were
the
fighting
timeout
so
to talk
hard.
about mid? I'm not
I think
sure.
it was a good strategy in the end, though.
Why the diagonal wall of middle? I mean, it's just way better. The only additional wall, right, if you want to do it straight, is this one, and that's so easy to trigger. At least when it's here, you're open to so many more angles where you can actually like break a clone that's gonna trigger it, or you can actually shoot someone that's gonna trigger it, like we saw from this angle here. So I do like this from D2, by the way. The smoke over towards this creates a bit of pressure and make sure that they can't get shot from the main angle that they hold it from. This is also just too easy to trigger this wall, right? You want him to commit. You want him to be a lot worse.
He can ult into A main if they get in for the bangs playing there, or into sight if they see John.
Some flash rebounds here. Sen are going to be aware that this is fake pressure over towards CAD. Still in control of it. Jump spot gets
It's a
it.
much
Good
better round, right? You
acknowledgement.
can see that they actually have to go into a 2-1-2,
Oh my, that's
into a
ball to the head, though.
spammable position for the one,
Not
getting
looking
wrecked a
for-
little bit. They're now going to
Still,
lean
you
over
can see it
towards the
now.
site.
Dividing straight up into the side here with the salvos towards
Salvos to help them get
Jorgamo
through the
needs to
choke
lead the
over
charge
towards
for Resident. They don't
stairs.
have
It's
control of the
nice.
window and a dash straight
Oh,
forward.
it's nice that he
Into the
dashed
arms of
into Leaf.
Get the Thorns waiting for Nadia
Hey,
again. This is
ult's
going to
pretty
be
good. Do
chaotic
they consider
indeed.
Jorgamo sending
From
it?
the
No,
side,
they
though, just
don't.
finding that timing to steal garden. Rips away a lot of the weapons, but the util is still good. Sen have chances and more. Zelsis
It's
finally
unlucky,
removed.
man.
Thorn in their
7
side.
HP.
Bang and John QT, they're here. Forwards trying to take
Nicely
that
done from
fight.
Leaf.
The plan was
Yeah,
going
take
down,
middle,
but
win the round.
all watched for high-low setup at G2.
And it
It's
might
as
seem a
simple as
little bit
that.
strange, but the adjustment from
In my
Jorgamo
opinion
in this
now,
round
Sentinels
was
are going to do a
use his
punish
dash
middle, but
way
we'll see.
earlier.
Like I
G2
imagine
are getting
Vice
into
Wall and
just
Sight
by
punish
walking
middle.
in together. Obviously, Leaf gets a bit of a freebie there. They caught Zekken dead to rights in B main. But Jorg used his dash just to cut up the market angle. He didn't dash out of market. He'd already used his
Okay,
dash
wall
right
over towards middle,
before
but
he
it's
even
the wall
took
that
a
you
step
wanted
into the
in
site.
chat. And I
is,
think you
I
have
think,
some kind
already
of
a pretty
punish
successful
behind that, but I'm not
attack
entirely
from
sure.
From what we know,
We'll see what they want to do.
at least how Ascent is operated.
And with how good their defense was before.
Yeah.
The Waylay, pretty underrated actually on defense. The Saturate is difficult to get through. Sen probably need another hero round here.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
from
what is this
Zekken
one?
with the Blade Storm or
Lock
back
him
over
in,
towards A main,
salvos.
who's been
Dude,
phenomenal.
as soon as the smoke goes in again, it's like their big change up that they've had.
Deep
The
drop.
cool thing about G2 is they didn't have
He's
to
gonna
do a
be inserted
timeout
as
for
well
this
into that
one,
full
right? They're
position.
defaulting over towards middle
That's
with
mostly here, the flash to the peak. That's a
smoke
great
and
really
then
fight,
trigger of the
Sentinels.
wall without a
Can
timeout.
overextend into this spot, but with nothing much in their backs, they're trying to carve out a path out towards Tree. They've dropped
Big
a
luck
spike in
at
their lap stone.
spawn here.
Definite options here, and Sentinels could capitalize.
Zelsis
Look at the map
got
entirely
wrecked
gone
by
now.
that
What a
crowd.
shot by Bang. Still, he wants to step up even more here. There's confidence. You can see it in the way that he's playing. Bullets are going to be ringing
No
out.
way.
But they overwhelm.
Leaf, how does he even get away with it?
A massive round for Sentinels. With
Yeah,
bad
it is a
weaponry.
massive round.
They
This
caught
one's going to be
G2
close though.
with
They
that
got like
little flash
a
sneak clear over
3-4,
towards
probably
Tree
enough to
and put
force.
them in a really uncomfortable position. G2's game plan in this round was to try to condition Zelsis that anytime his wall is popped in mid, it's a fake. And this time, actually, Leaf just walked straight through it. So they were hoping that Leaf's lurk would pay dividends. It doesn't.
Nice, boys. Let's go.
It's
In
pretty
ranked?
fast.
No,
It's pretty
honestly, in
chaotic.
ranked, the straightforwards line
Sentinels
is
coming
probably
out on
better
top, making it look pretty.
because
I think it's got
in
Kaplan
pro
stressed
play,
in the back over
everyone's
there.
super
Oh,
aware of
see
it being
right
the
over his
diagonal
face.
one, right?
But
So
honestly,
they can punish it.
That was
But
not a
in
back
ranked,
from
if you
them.
can get to pizza
Flash to
and you can
navigate.
actually use that angle against them, people are gonna get killed and
Another
they're gonna
game plan
complain.
from G2,
So
another
I would honestly,
better
I
buy
would just
from
go for the
G2.
straight wall in ranked.
And now,
just
KO
because
ultimate for Jonah P.
I think the less
Josh
relying
Art's
on
gonna take
teammates you have to
attack
do in
timeout
rank, the
first,
better.
one
So
that
just
they
do
have
the
access
simple
to.
one that gives you like early info.
And so Sentinels are going to need to do an anti-KO ult setup. So Zelsis playing pretty far away from the thorns, throw those over to a different
Yeah,
player.
you would get flamed for doing the other wall for sure.
See if we can get long range.
It's like when you do
support.
the Viper wall on
Possibly,
B on
you know,
Icebox to
unlock
create
John
pressure, and
to be
everyone's like,
using
mate,
his
just do the
KO
A
ult
wall.
reactively. And look at that. I mean, look at this. This is the post-plant meta, folks.
One successful retake out of 17 opportunities.
It's kind of crazy.
Now,
It's
Pearl,
so dumb.
both teams are playing Astra, so you have pull as well as the salvos to have to deal with. But
Ascent's a little bit different. Bit easier to follow the sound cues, just stunt the hits before they even come in.
yeah, honestly, a lot of the time you're not even in a good spot when you plant on this map. You've taken so much damage getting to the sites. So look,
Des, what are you
Zekken is on
typing?
A with all of that.
Don't make me play the game, man.
And Zelsis is playing on
Not
the other side
Saren,
of the
thanks
map,
so much
so
for the
that
tier 1.
the
Thank you,
KO
thank
from
you.
Jonah P can't catch him.
I appreciate the 10 mums.
Prime something there with the salvos held onto the appropriate angle.
Yeah,
Into the
punish
corner.
over
He's
towards
on
middle
into the
though,
flash.
but
Yeah,
this
he
smoke
was.
kind of
Turned
messes
to the
them up.
side,
I wonder
almost
if they're expecting the other smoke.
expecting it, as you said, pre-anticipated, and watching all the angles as well as that response from Sentinels dragged them out.
This is just unbelievably good from Jogamo to be able to pick up
Yeah,
that second
no,
kill as well.
it's kind of
A
insane to
5v3.
get that second one.
Smoke fading,
And they
re-exploration.
just,
Again,
everyone
full
holds,
bang has
wait
to
for
take
the
risks in this
reaction.
spot.
Here's
It
the
just
reaction.
clear the right corner.
Clean kill.
Would be a little bit, but Jogamo gets the job done.
Yeah, kills the kill.
And this is all just with 50 seconds left to play with. G2 just standing down their ground.
Yeah, there's so much time. G2 have been putting a serious focus on mid, baiting out Zelsis' wall.
Every
Wasn't there
single
this time.
round,
It's gone
the
over towards
G2
A.
have gone
But I think
let's
G2
think,
know that.
actually.
They're
They
gonna
had
be
one.
running an anti-KO setup.
3 out of 4 rounds that G2 have gone 2 or more through middle, they've won.
Back into the salvos. There's no safety whatsoever.
And Zelsis, he had a couple of 4Ks on Pearl, but this, in a 1v4, doesn't seem doable for him. The money's still going to be okay for Sentinels, but it gives G2 a much-needed economic cushion, because last couple of rounds, they've had like 1 or 2 players with a stinger, and they've been
Brent. Yeah, he's on a
kind
lot,
of
man.
Scrapping together.
scrapping together bits and bobs, yeah.
Gonna have like 1,000 damage
Difficult
just
decision to
purely
make for
from
Zelsis. He has the money to buy
salvos.
for next, but you don't want to feed up the ult to G2 as well.
No, you absolutely don't. Jogamo could get another conversion path online. Second already. And Jonah, the threat of the null command is actually more important here than even using it.
I give you
Zelsis
the
recognizes that there's a null command on the
2
other side, so he changes
no
up his
checks
play
at
setup
corners on
entirely.
Haven.
That leaves a gap in mid that they
But
have to
guys,
bodies.
it's a
G2 just
50-50
walk down
gamble
mid
here.
and take the
He
fight.
just picked wrong. Like what
great identification
what do you want him to do,
of how
man?
the game
Just go
changes.
into here and just start spinning
Just
his
based
mouse
on
around.
threat.
He has to take a gamble. You're angry at him for a 50-50. That's like flipping a coin and being angry that it's heads and you went tails.
I'm not too sure.
It makes no sense.
Something exploded on our screens.
To be fair, he should have been faster with the clear, I'll give you that.
4-4 now,
But
and G2, their attack side is looking mighty better.
Yeah, a much slower
yeah, he still
approach,
cleared the
less
right.
execute heavy, but really working well. Zelsis goes back to the same mid wall, and he's playing on site with his util. So if Jonah P pops some kind of fast B hit, Zelsis will not have access to any of this. But I think if it was going to happen, it would have been the previous round.
But the 2 on Haven was valid.
So he's calling the
It's
bluff.
like, I
of
get the
G2.
upset. G2 are about to run away with this, by the way, if they win this round.
Second. It's been playing
Yeah,
up
it's
close
another round where they go
sometimes through
towards middle, though, try and trigger
Back with
this.
the conversion pass. No risk to be taken this time, though. Just trigger the wall and get back again. But Sen look like they're gearing up
And then they
potentially to refine
re-clear
this
with
once more.
bodies. Again, let's
Salvo's
see.
here, onto the one side and the other.
Salvo either
Using
side,
the
force him
response
out
down
into the
Satchel,
middle.
you can see it pushes back. Zekken, barely alive. Just
Didn't
has to
really
updraft
have
and
the best.
scuttle himself away,
Dude,
but
imagine
he's
like a KO
down
flash
to
on
low
this.
HP.
Jorg looking for a timing.
And here's a fight to be had.
Nice kill.
Narrate. Realizing it, there was a gap there. It's making sure to control that space up through it.
And Zekken backed off to lane instead
As
of
long
B
as the
main.
2 on
Remember
site
last
get
time he got
enough.
caught in B main on the B split.
Yeah, we're about to see Salvo,
adjusting
right?
his
To
setup.
get free
This
choke.
is a slow siege indeed by G2. Still waiting for that util. The knife does rain down.
If Jonah uses his ult, all of this Vice util will go.
Very pushing forwards. Here it is. Ults. Now use suppression across the board. And how do you battle your way out of this one for Sen? There's a timing to be taken through the smoke. Does Zelsis dare do it? The side players, they need some help. Supportive util. Or do they? Zekken, just the one. Instant with the trade again.
Whoa.
G2 reigns
And
supreme
one
across
spawn.
the site, but No extremity control into it, and time is of the essence. They need to get this plant down. It needs to be held. And in 3v3, definite chances, and Sen looking to take it now. Can increase the tempo with that no command up forwards as well. Jump spot gets the acknowledgement. These players are, but Bang is just holding
Really
his
trying to
ground.
get the most of this
Into
armor
his hands,
flash.
Snappy from Celsius. Blind is even better. Up towards
Very
lane.
nicely
Swing
done. It was a
from
good retake
behind.
on this one.
Very drilled by Sentinels.
Yeah, it was really
That is a
together.
lovely retake from Sen. We saw there was only one successful retake attempt on Pearl. But here, what Bang was doing, jiggle peeking to see whether the threat at stairs was actually real or not before deciding whether or not to invest the paranoia. And so he saves it and can use it for a much better opportunity onto the site. Combos it with that KO flash and blinds up Jonah P at the same time as all of Sen move forward as a pack. Both teams actually playing the spacing game, how far away you are from your teammate, really, really well.
Yeah.
They're moving together as one unit, as a hive mind. And that's a big adjustment from how G2 were previously playing, but Sen sticking to what they're great at. Leaf is coming into this one with only a sheriff.
Okay, G2 delayed this a little bit to try and wait for Jonah P's knife. And here comes Jonah P's knife. That hits
Realizing that the Vice
two?
Wall was here in B main. I don't
Three?
think he actually realized that he was about to die from logs.
2 maybe?
Gets a little lucky. But now that they've triggered out that wall, they know that there's nothing in mid. So you're expecting there to be bodies in mid, right?
Very
Because
clear.
the wall isn't there.
Absolutely. They're gearing up to try and get control of B main again. It's a flash and a peek.
I would imagine that G2 are going to try to... Oh, hello.
They heard it.
Yeah.
Why am I not bored?
So Trent wants to reclear this area.
I mean,
Push
genetics,
back.
I guess.
Second.
Yeah, realizing they can't really threaten the rest of the map if they've lost B main control the entire time.
But is this going to end up being a pop onto A with the convergent paths? Because Jorgamo, he doesn't have refract, but he still can close the gap and do a lot of damage.
Passive positions held here. Bang is just jump spotting underneath.
And Narrate is going to be under crazy pressure because when this comes in through A main, if he turns his back for a moment, there's a backstab on Catwalk.
Already laying down the smoke.
30 seconds left.
Wine going to be cleared. Narrate.
1 by 1.
You stand against it. The hit's going to be
Oh,
turned up
on
now.
short,
Straight
go
away.
through
Convergent
short.
path's going to be slowing it down to a crawl double dash up and over towards the
Oh,
side.
good
Safety
flash
there,
from Bang.
Paranoia brought enough time forward and even dodged that one to saturate to the side.
Bang. Oh my goodness. That's insane, bro, how he's done that. Because he was so close to going down. So close to going down, bro.
Smokes in your face as well, and bullets are raining down on you.
It was like the
gonna be saving you much
smallest
from
margin
that
of
one.
him being
Leaf,
okay and
very
winning the
awkward
round to
spot
losing the round.
indeed. ISO's one. Position noted though, expecting a second updraft over towards the top.
That's so sick.
You cannot.
That's
well
so
played in the
good.
moment.
What movement from Zekken! But cleaning up.
I mean,
from a
Bang
spot
Bang
where
deserves
Bang
all the
gave him
praise though.
advantage.
Yeah.
That was masterfully
That's
played by Bang.
the
The paranoia, I think,
second
caught
kill
onto
was-
3 people, throws down a smoke to play around, and gets the kill onto Jorg, who, I mean, probably shouldn't be jumping in that spot, but to be honest, he's trying to jump to play in his teammate, who just gets sprayed, transferred. He is going wild. A nice round from Zen, because there were 2 players under immense pressure there. Narrate got ulted by the Waylay, and he managed to back off into a corner and avoid getting punished. And they also Bang on site.
Yeah.
He's been so good, Bang.
He's been unreal
I think best smokes player that we have in Americas, I would say.
so far with the way.
Double
that he's playing,
timeout. Yeah, I wonder if
Most
it's like
selected
more
way
mid
to
focus
G2
again.
as well.
It's where they've been winning all
think
their
about the difference
rounds.
between these 2 smokes players, right?
He,
Marlon has been talking so much.
He
He's
knows
been
the
so
most
open and vulnerable in
likely
terms of discussing
he can use
after
these
Bangkok, the journey
if they
mentally
need
that
to
he's
do
been
any
on, trying to
adjustments. It's
figure
all
out
about how
what
many
he can
attack
do
rounds they can
individually
get.
to improve,
They
and
know
then
what they're doing on
realizing, actually,
defense.
it's not about him as an individual. It's about him as a leader, as an IGL, to help the rest of his team improve. Now, Bang doesn't have any of that. Bang doesn't have to worry about leading the team and being the caller. He can just focus on playing the best individually he possibly can.
His
And
own game.
he's playing incredibly.
You can feel the. I think there's pressure for G2 here. This is, I believe, both timeouts expended at this point.
But again, if you zoom out, this is still a good attack half.
Right, exactly. The point
So-
being that so much emphasis placed on the attack side, G2 feel like they don't need help with their defense. If they can get an extra round here or there, it's gonna
Yeah,
make
I
all the
mean,
difference
this
for
is
them.
just gonna be
Already a better
middle
look
though.
compared to when they
Like,
last clashed on
You
this map.
gotta think what
Second forwards again. was doing this earlier in the half.
What Josh has been writing down in his notes.
Might be waiting
He's
for
got to
the
be
VCT
looking
as
at
well
this
to set up,
thinking,
but
well, 3 out of 4 of these rounds are over towards
VCT.
mids.
He's
We gotta-
towards Cat, and Joey
we
must
gotta
be
do
dealt
something
with.
on
Flash
mid
back
here.
again. Flash forward straight from Cat just in case there is that follow-up and that pressure, but Zekin is not out of the woods just yet. Thrown out towards, into the bottom. Did they expect Zekin to be dashing to this angle? Looks like it. Hard clearance by Jonah P. And yeah.
Oh, good trade though. Through the smoke from Narrate.
That's a lovely trade.
Just working off minimap to be able to get that.
Couple of bullets. Does
Thrown
the
over
job
towards shore.
effectively enough. Zelsis now is his turn to try and step right up to it.
There's
Again,
the
that
crossfire
spot.
again.
Smoke's going to be fading in the end. Narrate. Great round.
Brilliance from Sentinels. They're using the wall as bait in mid. The wall isn't even there, by the way, but because it has been in so many of the previous rounds, G2 are conditioned to walk down mid and try to get rid of that Vice wall as part of their default. And first they meet Zekin inside the smoke, then Narrate is there spamming to, and Zelsis also playing from market.
My soldier ran in there blind.
I mean, someone has to.
So now massive ultimates for both teams to close out in round 12.
Again,
Another
Zekin.
punish on middle. It's also really nice from
Deposition,
Zekin.
smoke
Whoa,
down.
okay.
Okay, straight
It's also very nice
shot.
from Zekin playing
Right
this
to
spot.
the
Like you
noggin.
kind of want to get the drone out early,
Aware of the danger.
early from them. A lot of the
Flush over
time,
the top of the
you know,
okay,
we
gonna
have
be taking
a.
contact
Oh
first here
boy.
with the drone. Ah, this
Okay, I
time,
did check.
There is no escape.
A lot of the
Surprised
time
there
it's
is no
like
dash
recon
out
to clear. There's
safety.
obviously
Zekin
no
finally
sova, so you can
taking
play
out
over
TP
towards
into the
middle
back.
more.
The
If you can get them to use
reinforcements
their
are
drone
arriving
early
up
and break it
toward
early,
B
dash
to
out.
cancel into the
Or like
ult.
just make
Missed
music
throw.
early, it's nice.
Things for a bit of a loop here. G2 calling for a bit of a cooldown and now speeding up over towards A, but the Armageddon. Safety then
Well,
granted
that's a
here for
heavy,
Sentinels.
it's a heavy
But
shutdown
these
of
B
short.
players
They
can't
got
really rotate
the
over towards A.
duelist inserted over towards
Switching over
spawn.
towards the
Big
side here,
duel.
but this is all just fake pressure once more to saturates. Oh my, light speed. And he's out of there.
The
Bit of a
split
squeeze
A
being
through
placed now up
spawn.
towards tree and just a shorty into your hands, but bang, you got your weapon back and the flash is impeccable. In and out round to the
What
side.
is
Talking
that?
over the movement, but bang! Cannot
What
be
is that
denied.
movement?
It's time.
I have the
In
spike.
the sun, it's already that 2v2 in this game. The timing's right from behind is taken. Bullet to the back there, execution star from Leaf, and it brings it just down to Zelsis to see what he can do in this spot. Still
Oh, they
got
got
it.
shorties though, right?
Even better. Leaf going to be backing away now, doubled up. Discipline to be played for these G2 players. Wrapping around all the way as well, not
He's just baiting.
anticipating. Yeah, it is just bait. Trying to pull this one out all the way. Now they know he's not on it. Very difficult task.
He has
indeed
no
for
idea about the
Zelsis.
bait
So
from
7-5.
Evan. Good little
That's
wrap
where we
round.
stand here on
5 on
Ascent G2.
5 on attack is nice.
As we already said, listen, they are 2 rounds down, but the attack side is where they were really struggling.
And I think overall, they've got to be really happy with this. A much slower approach to Ascent. After having lost in dominating fashion to Sentinels
Surprisingly,
just recently, they've made the right
I mean, they could
adjustments on
definitely
their
up
attack
against
arm.
this. It might just be preference though, I'm not sure.
And they're at the precipice, to be honest. If they play their defense well, the trophy could be theirs.
Like,
We're gonna
it's
send
not
it
like
out
he
of the
always wants
stage.
to up, I
Riv is
feel like.
standing by with
Maybe a better
Cloud9
rifler
in
as well.
the Thieves EU.
Yes, I am down here for a little bit of halftime fun with these two to figure out what they're feeling about the game. How
Dude,
things
Imi's
looking?
always
How you
there.
feeling? Are you happy with the results so far? Obviously, we know the results. You're not feeling too good. You just said it to me, but how about this game?
Yeah, I mean, I would have rather won, but the game's looking good so far. Hoping for a close game between the two, but I don't want to root for either team for the sake of Bang's family and for the sake of Trent's family.
Okay.
I've been pretty unlucky recently, so I'm gonna keep out of it.
All right, who's impressing you so far, though? If you could be like, all right, yeah, they're frying.
Zekin's playing kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie.
All right, Zach is playing kind of crazy. We'll see if he can keep it going. Now, Emmy, I gotta ask you. Week 5 was a game against G2, the Icebox match. We're going to Icebox here if Sentinels win. What did you kind of identify about them, and what maybe will we see Sentinels have to do to take that match?
I mean, I think I said it, we were scared of them, but I think here, G2 just need to anti them well. If G2 anti their comp well, I think they'll take it.
All right, and what did you mean before by saying G2 wins the map before they basically get into servers? How do you combat that, or how do you just go against that power?
Teams just usually go in very scared. I don't think Sen have done that today. I think Sen have handled it really well. But most of the teams just go in, they're scared against G2, they give them the respect, they don't fight them. And that's why I'm gonna play it.
All right, awesome. Gentlemen, thank you for the info. I appreciate it muchly. We're gonna throw it back to the casters and get this one underway. Take it away.
Sen have definitely not been fearful of G2 on here today, and they weren't the first time they played against them as well earlier on in the tournament.
No, they've been very happy today to re-clear, to fight, to try to bring those engagements to G2, but the adjustments strategically that G2 have made here and how well they've played a slower style of Waylay might have set them up with an opportunity to win. Back-to-back chances at this America's Trophy. The victors at this year's kickoff. And after a tough, grueling road through the lower bracket, this would be their 4th win in a row if they're able to convert on the defense side of Ascent.
Dude, honestly, Sentinels might have to win. Sentinels might have to win Pistol. The rounds that worked for them again when they played G2 were pretty much the same as what we just saw for G2, right? Mid-base rounds.
Put him on the right foot forwards here, knife against the back. It's going to force that nade out nice and early.
Dash used.
Okay.
Dash used in the first 20 seconds to disengage. So that makes it really tough to send 4 players through.
Okay.
Might have spotted on the minimap, not too sure. At least the suppression came through.
Yeah,
so.
at least the suppression
exactly
maybe knows these, I know. Flash goes in, salvos,
re-clear.
dude, it's nice. So, as if he gets that kill.
Get one in that spot.
But again, take a look
That's
at
nuts
Leaf,
from
all
Narrate.
the way behind here in spawn.
Oh my.
This is a mad timing. He's got the read
Dude.
so well.
They're watching for top mid.
They are watching it though.
Looked all the way up. Did
Wait, did Bang see him?
I think Bang.
Sure.
I think they both
So
spotted
yeah,
each other.
it's pinged. Bang.
Oh,
Notifying
okay, they
the
didn't,
rest
they
of his
didn't.
team. It's doubled up and held here
Yeah,
now.
he saw him.
Gonna
Bang,
move
Bang
move on
100%
once
saw
more.
him.
Marathon sprint across the map.
Well, you just know that B is undefended. If Leaf has pushed all the way out through B, then it's empty. These rotators for the defense are going to be trying
Dude, they
to
might
race
get
you,
double
and
on
it's a
site
fake.
though, but then
Sen
we gotta
are
look
sending
and
the
it's all just a
footsteps in
fake to
this
make sure they
direction
heavy
while the spike
rotate,
goes
and so
back
we
into
gotta
A.
have Valen POV here.
All on Valen indeed, and he's just caught that timing
It's a
against
good
it. Second was
flash.
hard, clearing onto the one side of things. It's caught out now. Reinforcements
Gets
are going to
the
be arriving.
reload off,
Desperate
6
at that for G2,
seconds
but
until
time
his
is of the essence
smoke.
again. 12
He can just
seconds.
stay alive and just
Counting
smoke
down
to his
the
left.
round and a
Lovely
double
little
base.
double swing.
Trent and Valen putting a stop to all of this here with only seconds remaining. There's no
Dude,
more
no
chances
time.
now.
You got no time
It's
on
run
that.
dry and
Man, that was
shy.
really nice from
All we have
Valen.
to
Had
do
good
is
timing
live.
to clear this,
Kills
and
and
this little
consolation at
double
this point. It's
swing
a
was
pistol round
awesome.
win for G2.
Dude, double pistol on this map. That might be the end.
And that should allow G2 to close this gap.
2-0 on this.
Sen, they're not the type of team that we expect to go for the force. They won some important ecos earlier on. There's that little jiggle that just gave the game away on Leaf's lurk. But in the end, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And it was Valen's decision not to overcommit. After Leaf died, he stayed on A just in case John QD was cooking up some kind of elaborate
Yeah,
fake, and he
it's true. It was nice from him to not rotate.
So once more, Valen, with the slightest of better reads, ends up winning a massively crucial round.
There.
Oh, Chogamo, he might get some
All
freebies.
the way up here from Sen. Nothing to really work with in this spot. Jorgamo's giving up control, at least towards mid. Cloudburst dash forward. Market control in the name of the game here for Sentinels, at least hoping that they can pull some G2 players out, potentially get a pick off of it. Jorgamo, seen it, that's a no-scope.
What
Never
the
seen one.
hell?
Even that or too fast to register for my eyes at least, but Jonah P seals up potential weaknesses in their setup, and the walls really just delayed all of this here. Bang, still accurate as ever, classic in hand,
That
but
was sick.
peppering them now with a bit of lead. The backside player of Leaf as well is going to be able to anchor this one nicely.
Oops.
Still mistimed.
Yeah.
Detour by Jonah P to flash to try and help him out entirely. Spotting this one out, but running away with it. And yeah, here it is.
Hey, very,
Finally,
very nicely
running all the way
handled on
back
that.
in
Dude, that
for us.
was
So
a
G2
mental no
now
scope
even it
though.
up 7-7.
Sen have got a massive uphill battle here.
Leaf, yeah, they did the
G2
divide.
won both pistols
Little
on Ascent
self-flash swing.
and got 5 rounds total on their attack half. For how defense-sided this map is, it's going to be brutal. Sentinels need everything. They need the hero moments of earlier from Zekken, from Bang. Zels' 4Ks from Pearl, the reads from John. Narrate to step up. They need everybody online.
It's really tough,
absolutely
this
must
one
win
for
this round.
Sentinels.
Of all of the rounds that
Really,
you get
really
on the
tough.
attack
They
side, this
gotta
outside
take
bonus is
middle. And look at this
your best
G2.
shot
And they
generating
looked back at the
some level
VODs.
of momentum.
They realized that
Down
Sentinels
mid,
won the
very
rounds when they went
It's
middle.
gonna be
So they have a
met with plenty of
3-person
bodies.
Punisher middle with an Omen
But even
flash
the
ready
CG
as
on
well.
G2 side of things going for that refight as well.
Yeah.
Paradise
Hey, I
was
tell you
fast,
what
but
though,
it was a
Sentinels
window.
kind of on
Sidus
top of this. They
against
baited
the
this
second,
one
blazing,
out.
and he was not
Took
blinded up.
space, went
That's
back.
a bit of a gun diff as well, because Jorgamo does
Yeah,
actually hit him
I
for
mean,
140.
he got the shot off, but dude, I like this from both teams, man. This is how you know it's just a high quality game. That was
Used his
awesome.
dash, though. So
both using the prep of the last game, know what the most likely thing is. And Sentinels a little step ahead on that.
We've seen some filthy things with this set.
Narrate doesn't have drone.
Airplane Bucky on Ascent. We've all seen the damage.
Oh god.
That might just put
I
a stop
thought
to
it was a
what's ever
double.
planning. They've called for a bit of a pause.
Keep an eye on middle though.
Zeken's deep
You
down
got
mid.
Zeken, low HP,
Valen's
goes for the
fighting
lock.
back. Smoke v smoke.
As it dissipates as well, there's timings and fights to be taken on either side here.
Really
Zeken is
nice.
still
More
doing
value on the
work
luck
once
than he
more.
would have
10
entering
doesn't
with 10
matter.
HP.
And Bang just slips his way all the way in.
Yeah, with the
Turn
fake
of the
over
head.
towards A here as well.
Valen
Damn, ends up being a really nice
expecting it in
round
a
from
different
Sentinels.
direction here, but
Dude, that was
Sentinels are
sick.
making moves now over towards B.
That was a good little play here.
And it looks like they've managed
I'm impressed
to
that they
thread the
knew
needle
that they would
and
try and
find
do
that
some
gap.
kind of punish over towards middle. Just drone,
Trent with
send
it all to
out,
do.
second
He
on
has
his own.
run some bonkers 1v3s
Expecting
this
the trap
stage.
play. It was really cool.
But here he has no information about where the Sentinels players are. And Bang alone should checkmate him in this spot towards mid. And then you'd have to deal with Zelsis in B main and John on the site. Doesn't really seem doable. Especially not with a Bucky. I don't think
Bucky?
that's something you really want.
Looking for that one.
There we go.
Maybe.
But it's going to be heard.
Could be the best gun.
Sound cue from the weapon dropping. Bang immediately snaps round, so...
And it's actually important that you do not feed the kill into John QT. Because he's 2 away from null command. And that could be Sentinel's ticket to winning this map.
And footsteps. What? Okay. Expected by Trent, apparently.
Dude, that kill actually matters.
And it doesn't look like John's going to have
Armory
an opportunity
by
to farm
3
on this
guns means that this is going to be a big
Do they play a slow
swing
round?
round.
Go for alt orbs. Feed him the plant. The problem is, if you feed him the plant and he gets ult, you've already got on site. So you've done the hard part
I was going to
already.
say, he's talking about feeding him the plant. The majority of the time, it's getting through the chokes.
Zeken does a great job in this round.
He does.
He perfectly plays the mid pressure. He knows that a retake's coming, puts himself in a safe spot, and then still manages to find a mid lurk for a second after being hit for 140. Zelsis is not, Leaf is not using the wall for mid information. They're playing crossfires in mid instead.
It forces a couple of eyes of the G2 players at least to be watching that direction. The drone dodged and timing. Leaf is
Okay,
going to be making
default
sure to
wall
shore that
over
one up.
towards
Back
here.
through
Another
market.
punish from
Plays for the
G2
power
over
as well.
towards
It's a dangerous
middle.
Position to be in the rate. He's looking to at least make it a bit harder. Just the one
Back-to-back
before damages
punishes
it.
Leaf, mate. That
Flying
is...
forwards and through.
Damn,
Leaf
that's a nice shot is what I
Slappy.
was going to say.
just taps away, rips the head clean off, and even giving up that space. They heard the spike drop down, but they're willing to relocate
Just
anyway.
calm tapping.
Leaf is so aggressive, so confident.
I mean,
He's the
Sideshow
vice
said it
player.
for
If
me.
He goes down in that spot. It's massive for Sen, but he believes in his own aim and his own read on the game so much. A has been weak for G2. It's only had these 2 players defending it the entire time, and the net is starting to tighten. But Valen, Jonah, they still have a lot of util to hold this off, and
G2.
Bang goes down.
Yeah, he does indeed. G2 are getting so damn active as well, though, with that deep push out through B main. Missed the timing for the backstab onto the cap players, but G2 are happy to play a bit further back. 2v4. Play the numbers advantage. Have faith in the retake at this point.
I'm a little bit surprised they even want the door closed, because they've got to find a pick here before the retake comes through.
Door's going to be broken at the moment's notice. Down to red. Alarm bells ringing. Zekin in through
Drone
main. He's going to be
forces
pushed out
this
into the
play a
open.
little
Drone,
bit.
He's got to expect it.
That's
The
an
position
incredible
is a
stun.
good connection. Trent, though, still doesn't open
For
himself
God's
up. He wants to
sake,
play this one as he
man.
lets his team do the damage.
He's still got
second.
one.
One to the grave with him, with Leaf.
Oh, dude, I'm so done
This
with
guy's all over
Teo.
the place. So damn active across the map and still hitting shots like that.
Leaf was the key player in G2's victory over MIBR. He dominated, and he looks like he's doing it again here on Ascent. The scoreline's close.
Another question. Despite
But our
recent results, who is the better
expectations are
duelist
weighted by
10
what teams have
Senti,
done
Meteor or
before on this
Leaf?
map, and how
I mean, if I hadn't seen this year, it's the easiest answer ever.
on the attack.
They're going to call a timeout.
But
I mean, he's wrong with that read, but he's been right with everything else. Sen not going for the tack timeout just yet, but they're knocked down onto an eco. It would
mate,
be
I,
a really normal time
I
for
can't say
Kaplan to
Meteor
hit the
anymore.
panic button.
You can't say Meteor after watching this year.
Are they unaware?
Because they lose
I mean,
every
yeah,
game where he
slightly.
plays
They've been
Sentinel at the
allowing some
moment.
Really heavy
So how can I
walkouts.
even say it?
G2 have been
It has to be a
pushing out,
Leaf.
reclearing the map pretty
But
similar to
it's
when we
such
started
recency
on
bias. Because
If you
he
think
was
back
literally
all the way
probably
to
the
map
best player
one,
in the world last year.
G2 were just pushing out constantly through A lobby, through mid, through garage. And Leafs finding those same opportunities here on defense.
Just clearing up some of the confusion on the map. through Leafs lurks, and also to drone up through mid, hoping that it might pull some players here. For Sen, they didn't really have much to work with. They got the knives earlier. We saw that. Zekken turns himself up to this Blade Storm now, and it could get explosive up towards the A side. Might put a lot of pressure onto Valen. Does have some support as well, though, from the two tree players.
Common flash.
Flying forwards here with a paranoia.
Ooh, almost flashed in. Did that.
The knives are taken away. Great flood attempt here from G2.
It's timing of the knife as well, though, right?
Spam into the corner here. A flash was anticipated. Valen tucked to the corner. One step ahead is G2. Expecting the plays Ascent were trying to make, and Zelsis.
He's just forced to scurry away, isn't he? 30 seconds left.
I mean, he's got to do something, though.
0 point
That's
from
the dying to the round.
My blind is dead.
Usually, the KOs are going to be throwing that kind of early on in the round. 20 seconds, 2 plays in A main, no chance.
I mean,
Jonah
Sentinels need some help.
It's his 0 point, the knife that just takes away Zekken's Blade Storm, and with it, any opportunity for a clutch for Sentinels, if we're being honest. Zekken had to be the playmaker, and he just got put in an impossible spot. He's got a classic in his hand by the time the exec happens.
I'm not gonna lie as well at this point, this is a very difficult ask for Sentinels. They're only down by 1 round, but the ultimates are being built up here on the G2 side. One away for some critical ones as well. Trent and Leaf to be getting theirs online. Jonah P has that null command waiting.
That dude, he
And an
kind of
anti-KO
knows.
setup here for G2.
Looking
So
insanely
G2
stressed.
Decides to run some kind of fast B pop. Leaf's going to keep all of his util online.
Do they gotta win this round? It has to be this
And not
round.
moving the wall either, keeping the wall in mid. So
Drone
you still have really
to
good
take mid
information,
again,
unless
and you
he
gotta
gets
remember this has
baited.
been
But
punished
thing
twice
is,
in a row here,
Zekken's
so
running forwards to try to bait it.
yeah. They invest the smoke this time as well.
Potentially about a response.
I mean, actually, I think they've been
now.
investing the smoke most of the time when they've done it.
I think I'm in our way.
3 passing over towards A, but obviously at one
Forces are
point
thrown out of
you have
G2
to
here.
go
Sees G2 players
2-1.
here. Jorgamo
But because of the drone, they
under the
can
threat
keep
here. He's
3
gonna be turned
strong.
out of the
It's a
pan and into
great
the
send from
fire.
Zekken.
It's Sentinels. 2 quick ones earned as well up through heaven. You got to try and deny this.
Very nice, good trade.
Is sat upon. They do just that.
Nice early use of the ultimate. Completely caught those players on tree. And bang, he holds heaven.
Yeah, this is very nice from Sentinels as well. And G2 maybe going to try punish over towards middle. I still like the instant reaction. The instant reaction to the drone to keep numbers over towards it was good. It would only last for a little bit, but it lasted for the hit. Second did incredible as well to throw the
You
crossfire.
actually saw Jorgamo swap over to his shorty, because I think in his
Yeah,
head
it's
he's
good omen
probably
flash as well.
anticipating the Visal coming through as well. And he's thinking, all right, I probably need to be swapping.
Jumped on Jonah, I kissed him on the lips.
Is it against the rules?
To stand up and kiss a player on the opposite side of the stage? Yeah, probably.
The NBA fans are wondering.
Yeah, they were. They were at some point.
But now that big null command removed from the attack side should make things slightly easier here for the defenders.
Saturate slows it
Is
down.
Mini
They know
still
where the drone's coming
casting?
from.
Mate, last 2 weeks has been
Barely
locked
out
in the
of
engine
second,
room.
Still alive.
Q combo.
Just pouring coal into that engine for Paper
Blind
X.
as anything, doesn't matter though.
He's been magnificent today, hasn't he, Bang? Just catching the perfect timings with the perfect off angle. And G2 react with Jorgen Leaf walking forwards,
Big,
possibly straight into the arms of Zekken.
I mean, it is.
Second has
Wait,
been able to backstab
I want to
multiple
say
times
it's a
here, but
low
Leaf
buy,
is
but it's not a
watching
low
for
buy. They
it.
kind of all in it.
Hold on, Armageddon's going to force these players forwards as well. That is a pick your poison situation. You are stunned.
Oh,
Ben.
God.
My goodness, what a way to deal with it.
Oh, that's immaculate from Trent.
It's a 2v3. Turned on his head immediately. Celsius, you have the ult to work
Yeah,
with.
this is
Again,
really
look at
going to
this
sell it, but then we
positioning
got a
of Leaf.
weird
He's
jewel
already
over
here. I think you can
towards
hear it.
mid, and I'm
Rumble of
pretty
Celsius, so it's a
sure
convergent pass just to slow them all
Leaf
the way down.
had narrate, so Jorgamo should expect the pressure, I'm
There's that
sure.
uncertainty. Sentinel's trying to slow this one down and hope that Celsius will be offered up a couple of picks here, but with the util out in the open, doesn't expect that.
Oh,
What a
way they
turnaround
lost
in this round. After Bang pulls out a phenomenal 2K. And Narrate can hear a waylay fast behind.
Yeah, put in a squeeze now as a vice grip here. There's Thorns pathing. It's going to get predictable. You already get the plan here. Just taps, hoping that it just pull one of these players out wide. And Leaf is just smart.
It's unlucky,
Smart
it's a
for
nice
these
try.
games as well. Doesn't really open himself up for it. Spamming, spraying away, but time is already going to be played. As long as Trent stays alive, it's going to be another one added to the tally.
They're so good
Oh,
at
dude.
identifying
Give me the
what they need
Kaplan.
to do in these clutch
Give me the
situations.
Kaplan replays,
Trent
me furious.
never at risk there of putting his body on the line so that Narrate could win the 1v3. Take a look at the replay here, though. It's a perfect off angle to stop a play like this. A 5v3. And then Lee with his classic push out, and
Yeah,
Trent
Leaf did
with
make
an
a play.
immaculate 2K. I don't know how they get the perfect read that they're all in A main at that exact timing, but the combination of the ult and the stun, that's why he's a Teo master.
It's a brutal one for Sentinels here.
Yeah, he saw it on Bang's face at the end there as well.
See it.
Well, we didn't get his replay, but he's calling the
They
timeout.
are feeling it, potentially. This is a difficult spot to be in, even though they're 1 round down.
And they've actually been doing a decent job. We keep talking about the fact that it's going to be uphill, but Sen, they're kind of going 1-for-1 with these rounds.
Yeah.
Ever since G2 won the pistol, it's been
Hello, Jaws.
3-2.
Thank you
It
so
hasn't
much,
been
huh?
dominant for the defenders.
Appreciate that as well. Good to see you,
They've
dude.
been holding their own. But if they lose this next round, Sen are going to be on an eco. A couple of players swapping over, we can see, to light armor to try to soften the blow if they do lose this round. They're going to try to keep the economy going for as long as they
If
possibly
the Stinger
can.
and the Teo
It's a
enough,
game of
does
endurance
G2
playing the
suffer?
attack
I mean,
side
for
of
sure.
Ascent. You're just trying to
But
create as many
been
opportunities
good at
as you
other
can and
metas.
see if some of them work.
they've always been
Just
pretty good
the
with
Sentinels
Stingers, though.
specifying
It's been
in
something
general.
that's
These
helped
have been
them for a
slow
while,
rounds
but
being played.
it's not like they're
Maps
it's not
really
like they're
go
only
deep.
good now.
In part, both of these
Like you
teams
gotta,
taking chunks
they were
out
good
of each
last
other,
year
but
as
G2
well when all this.
holding the
Well, Stinger was still there, but
the
obviously Teo
series.
wasn't.
And in
Not
the
like
map for now,
they,
Sentinels looking to
like they aren't
counteract
great
it.
at just first of all having a good read on the meta and also coming up with like smart stuff with other agents.
Always slow at the beginning between these two teams as well. They're just hoping that they can wait out a bit of the util. Knives thrown at the beginning.
Knife clears over towards Catwalk. Thrown into A main. And they push Jorgamo out of middle. So Sentinels using their utility to try to create safe avenues for them to split into sites. G2 look for a little bit of info. Don't see too much. I would expect ults to be
Let's build this
expended
one up.
massively
1,
in this
2,
round, because
3.
it's super important
1,
for both
2,
teams.
3, 4.
If G2 win it, they're going to be feeling
Sure. 5.
elated.
Yeah.
Like the trophy's
5 people
already
gone by.
theirs.
3
Sprint
people
up
gone
for a bit
by.
second, just hoping that the wall was there to potentially bait out, but
At
no, it's
9-10,
easily
this is
set.
literally
Their
it.
sights over towards A.
And A is weak.
Gotta see these
Behind the
ults getting
flash.
used.
G2 are playing
Flash
passively enough
goes
though that
in,
this
dude.
is
G2
chance for
want to
them.
full retake this one.
Jump spot, Jonah P.
And
What a hold.
Yeah, they're willing to give
yeah, they want to fight for sure, right? Because that's where they want to try and use the Visor in the retake. Dude, a Teo ult spawn here would be incredible. Whoa. Well, there goes the Teo.
Jorgamo denies him at the doorstep. Saturate, potentially even better, but Zeka does put him in his place. All the way forwards now with only 15 seconds left. This is G2 jumping
That's
on the
done.
chance.
It's got to be done with the
Death by a
spike
thousand
down
cuts
on
indeed,
stairs.
Sentinels between a rock and a hard place. There's no chance for them to get this spike down safely, cleanly whatsoever.
Very, very nice from
11
G2.
rounds now for G2.
Cool little setup. Good Vice ult.
Only 2
They
more
basically
rounds
played the
needed
whole
before
setup around their
G2
Vice ult here.
hoist the trophy.
Let them have A, gonna Vice ult over
Back-to-back
towards short, hold short,
winners
and
in
then on the
Americas
rotate,
after
they're just
making
there so
4
fast, and
consecutive
Jorgamo sending it
finals.
in. That's sick.
We've never had even a repeat winner in Americas. And Sen have got to scrap together a buy. They have to.
Yeah,
It's
just sending
pointless
it in
trying
when
to
they only
let
have
G2 get to
pistols
12
as
and
well.
hoping you can win 3 attack rounds on Ascent in a row. Even though the buy is going to be bad. A Stinger, a Guardian, a Bulldog, and a dream for Sen. Somebody has to make the play.
They force it? They
right
missing
the ship.
util? Not really.
Otherwise, they,
Just
with
light
double map
armors.
ban, are going to fall short.
We saw plenty of hero plays from these Sentinels players, and again, as you said, Josh, this is asked off once more.
Oh, he's
Oh,
got
no.
He's out of there.
Oh, no.
No dash available.
Wait,
No
they
dash available.
think
He needs
he
to
baited
deny
it, though.
isolate the kills.
Kind of worked out
Second,
well.
Forced into a difficult spot. He needs to fight his way back out of it, but Jorgamo!
Wait, what?
Right from behind!
no smoke over towards Market. I think Zekin assumed that that was being covered. Then again, it was all chaos.
Oh no.
Hang up towards Cart. Just with the movement as well, the refractor in the
Let's get
back
him
pops
further.
Jorgamo. Tail end of the duration of that one still, he's alive. That means a player advantage for G2 to play around.
Dude, now what?
Narrate has been holding his ult for such a long time. Can he find some value?
Yeah,
out
he
of
had
it?
to use it last round.
They've got to turn a player disadvantage.
Otherwise it's gonna mean G2 up to 12 here. Up to series point in our grand finals. Push forwards, pop flash in.
Jorgamo. Look at him flying in, man. Just slides in at the end.
One step away.
3, 3 and they have to
Three
light
chances,
light
three
armor by
tournament
again.
points. They already won in kickoff. It was a 5-map blender between these two teams. And Sentinels beat them for the first time in VCT recently in the upper bracket semi-finals here.
Woo! Let's go, baby!
But now G2 can feel it. They want to establish a year of dominance here. Just a week ago, they were thinking whether or not they'd even qualify for Toronto.
Yeah, it's been
Now
an
they've got
insane
3
run for them.
opportunities to lift the Americas trophy again and come in, skipping the Swiss stage in a phenomenal spot for Toronto.
Carving themselves into the history books of Americas, at least domestically. To be one of the first teams to get the back-to-back. It's up to Zekken to try and put a stop to that.
Oh, actually looking
Dreams
pretty
and
good
hopes
though.
of G2 themselves, but already dashing
Oh
forward.
no.
This guy has to be the tip of the spear, but he's just being isolated
Oh
still.
man.
They do it with Leaf.
It's still going
And
okay.
Trent
Trent
and a bit of space
has
as well,
to
but
try
they have to
kill
deal
one.
with
Oh
Trent, and
boy.
it's a stun against the back wall. He's penned himself in, skipping and hopping all the way through as well. Zekken
Nicely done, maybe.
isolates it, finds that fight in DG2. Just relentless.
Oh, they have no idea John's
here.
here.
Disadvantage. Jorgamoto cleans it up onto the side. It's all down to him into this spot. Sentinels earn themselves that breathing
Okay,
room.
big round from Zekken on this.
When you're watching
2
through
more
Zekken's
goes at it
eyes,
for
looks
G2.
chaotic. He's been tangled up by Leaf's setups in a couple of these rounds now, and yet the value provided from that Tejo ultimate completely isolated Trent, and he did whiff on the stun. He's almost stunned himself. A little bit of nerves in the final moment, and brick by brick, track by track, the Zen train at the moment keeps chugging, but 2
No,
more
he-
opportunities
I
for
knew that he
G2.
liked it. He won't use it for Paper X, but he'll use it here, eh?
Massively favoured half, and they're taking attack time
Oh
out.
my goodness.
I mean, if Kaplan doesn't take it now, he might not have a chance to even talk to the team. Everything
Isaac,
has to
thank
be
you so much for the
perfect.
2 months, man. Thank
Or
you,
at least
thank
the
you.
outcome has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Actually, the way the Sentinels got that round was a little scrappy, but it got the job
What,
done.
dude,
and
what
that
even
is
is
what
that, bro?
matters. They've run out of
I have
ultimates,
no
though.
idea what that is.
Narrate was holding that Tejo ult in his back pocket for so long. And Kaplan, he's actually not so much giving the info here as just giving his team time and space, it
A
seems
breather.
to.
Copyright
Something out.
strike
It's
him.
John that you can see
And I'm fighting the
calling
copyrights
out
off
a couple
myself
of
it is at the
ideas.
moment.
Some
Every stream
adjustments.
I'm getting like 5.
Just those 2 rounds that stand for Sentinels.
Can't be
Every
dishing them
single
out.
round that they've been able to
Exactly,
earn
start
on this
dishing them
attack
out as well.
side. It's been torturous, man. It's been absolutely torturous. If you take a look at the timeline,
Pay it
only
forward.
3 so far on this attack side round, and now they have to do 2 back-to-back.
Chat, what's G2's money like? Any knowers?
Bring this one all the way to
Okay, it's
OT to
good.
stand a chance as well, to not go out, just to even get a chance of competing in that 5th
Waylay
and
ult as
final
well.
map.
So much of Sentinel's conditioning recently in the last few rounds has been around B and B splitting. Leaf adjusting the setup slightly, but gets caught by the suppress. But Sen are messing with their heads. Instead of going for the B split, they're making it feel like one. And getting ready to pounce
get a
on
lot.
A. But G2 are already
Orns
getting
and
good
Water
information.
they
Close
spot.
to them, Jorgamo.
Big change up from
Trent.
G2 pushing over
Clear
towards
out
B.
this angle.
This is
The drone
incredible.
goes deep.
If it doesn't
And
ping
Leaf
up,
can
they're going to
start
get no
leading A.
info on it.
Joe could take a peek here if he
Yeah,
wants
this
to
is
do
really
this
nice.
refract,
Didn't
but
ping up, just
G2
cancelled it so they don't get the info that it popped.
Kinda quite open as well to that
It's
push.
very
The
nice
potential
from
of
that.
at
They have
least
no
one
idea
mid
that they
just
just
holding
cleared
them
out
out.
over towards
And
B.
G2 look like they're playing A for retake. I mean, they want to use, by the look of it, Trent and Jorgamo's ultimate to close this out. Celsius.
Tricky
You want
ball
another
to
go at
try
it?
At least break down. Spam coming his way on top of
There
it.
you go.
Eventually removes it. One obstacle dealt with, but Sen have got plenty more waiting for them on the other side of the A side here. A lot of util expended.
But
Okay,
again,
so
I
where
think
does
it's
the
gonna be a retake.
tail
We're
go for
looking
this?
towards Trent and Jorgamo and how much value they
Like
get out of the
tail,
ults. Sen are controlling Catwalk and Tree.
and then
They're
Waylay
not
ult?
closing the door and locking themselves in on site.
Because they know they have to fight forwards here. As soon as the ults are used.
I
find
like
the
this from
timing and window of
Sentinels. They know that
opportunity
it's
here against
happening. They got
G2,
sight
and here it is.
for
First ult
free
gonna be
here.
sent out. John QT already catching it. Conversion
Oh,
per
that's
second.
strong,
He's
bro.
isolated on
The
a bloody
Waylay ult
island.
hit a
Slow
lot.
to a crawl, but he still gets the one.
These salvos might be
Sentinels,
deadly.
Can they do it?
Oh, they're
Pull it back
deadly,
from
bro.
the
They
brink,
did
but
so
again,
much
they're
damage.
isolated,
Forced
cut out
them
of the
back.
sight.
Pressure of the
Divided
tap.
away from it, it's spammed and stuck away.
Dude, he
Sen
hit the guy at the
dropping
back.
like flies. Number G2. in all eyes.
That'll do it.
Into the hands of
That'll
Trent,
do it.
and he delivers them.
Tail
Back
Waylay
to
on the
back
side, man. It's a strong
trophy.
retake. Dude, what a crazy run from G2 this
An
was.
outrageous way for the map to finish. Much improved
There
over
were so
the
many
last
points
time
where they
that
weren't even
played
going to make
Ascent.
it. And now they get
And
first
this team,
seeds.
like I said only a week
Dude,
ago,
they
were
do deliver
grueling
though.
through
In
the
terms
lower
of just
bracket.
actual like
Against
entertainment, the
100
G2
Thieves
games
in
are
OT
always
on the
sick to
final lap
watch.
Against an EG team that looked like they had the momentum. These